Time out. So y'all are really into this. I have a question for y'all. It's equal. We have 3 people for the Chiefs, 3 people for the Eagles. I have a question for everybody, for the opposing team. So for my Eagles fans, what do the Chiefs have to worry about?
Everything.
And for the people, my Chiefs people, what do the Eagles have to worry about? So I'll start with you, Frank. You've been quiet.
Okay, so
what do you think the Chiefs have to worry about
Patrick Mahomes
for you guys?
The ankle, because like he was saying, the number 1 pass rushing defense in the league, they had 70 sacks this season. That's a lot. So if they can pressure the quarterback enough, Mahomes can't move. What are they going to do? Kelsey, 95%, majority of Kelsey's catches comes off of him seeing Patrick Mahomes is in trouble and getting open.
Scrambling.
If they can't do that, they can't win the game.
Okay. Amadou?
Everything. He said Patrick Mahomes' ankle, 1. And then you have to worry about the defensive side of the ball. What are you going to do when A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith are shooting streaks right by you? What are you going to do then? The run game. The Eagles had the best run game in the year on the season. And like Jonte said, Kenneth Gainwell has been the one that has been doing the most work for the Eagles. Now, what if Miles Sanders does something? And then Jalen Hurts has a scrambling ability. Jalen Hurts had, 14 rushing touchdowns this year? People aren't just doing that,
so many passing yards.
So you have the passing and rushing aspect, which will freeze defenders, like we saw with Nick Bosa. He was frozen. He couldn't just simply rush the passer because Jalen Hurts has that scrambling ability. And then they got to worry about the offensive side of the ball because we got Hassan Reddick coming from one side.
You're doing too much.
What? I'm just saying. This all they got to worry about because when you got Hassan Reddick come from one side, Brandon Graham, you got Fletcher Cox up the middle, you got Josh Sweat, all coming around you, and then okay, cool, you want to.
Great job with creating a pocket.
Saying.
One thing I said the Eagles have to worry about is, for one, the biggest target, Travis Kelce. Because if the Chiefs could find a way, I know they're going to find a way to get him going. That's the biggest factor of getting Travis Kelce. That's going to be their main talking about. Also, they have to worry about their role players as well. Mikael Harmon and that run game that they have. So, really, what the Chiefs really have to do is style that run game first and foremost. And the Eagles have to worry about...
You said Mikael Harmon?
I'm Mikael Harmon.
Who?
Isaiah Pacheco?
Jerry McKinnon.
Yeah, Jerry McKinnon. And also, if Tony...
Clyde Edwards hilarious. But, I mean, he's around RB3 now.
Yeah, RB3. Yeah. But if they get solid that run game, that's really going what the Eagles have to worry about. Of course, and it really starts in the trenches. That's the one thing I really say. It really starts in the trenches. Who's going to win the line of scrimmage? It really all depends with that Kansas City's offensive line. You're going against the best, like you said, all-pro D-line, 10+ sacks each person on that D-line. Very impressive. Very impressive. You know what I'm saying? All them my commanders. You know what I'm saying? We got that full piece. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. But that's really the main thing they have to worry about. Travis Kelce really controlling the line of scrimmage. And also stopping the run game.
Jonte?
Mine, I'm going to simply leave it up to durability. And I say that for both offensive and defensive sides of the ball. Like I've said, Sirianni has gone back to a modern style of football where you play all 4 downs. It's not 4th down and we're punting, right? 4th down and 1, 4th and something in between 4th and 5, we're going for it. And your defense has to be willing to make a stand on 4th downs, right? Because we could be on our side of our 30 going for it for 4th and 1, right? So your defense has to be willing to stay on the field. Our times of possessions is very long. So your durability has to be able to play at least 8 minutes a quarter defensively, 9-10 minutes a quarter. That's I want to say a possibility, right, of the Eagles to be able to really drain and get deep into the clock. So with that durability, and then just like the offensive side as well, can your players take hits, right? Can your quarterback take hits, right? Can he remain himself due to injury and differences that he's had, right? Throughout this season, to get to the line and say, hey, and be able to make the right audibles or whatever it is, right, and not be out of himself, because we're expecting Patrick Mahomes to go and be himself, but we don't know what it's going to be. He's back in this stage with a different group of guys, whereas the first couple of times that he's made it, or the first big times that he's made it throughout this season, he hasn't really had this many trials and tribulations because he had a core group of guys around him, like a Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. Even though he had a stellar season, it was because he had to. Right, this was forced upon him. Where in other seasons it was greatness just because, right? Where it was only him and Mahomes this entire time. So you just got to see how he's going to do.
Okay, I got Jamal.
So what I would basically go off of is experience. You have Andy Reid, who is a coach that has way more experience than the Eagles coach. You have Patrick Mahomes, who's been here, who's lost it, who's won it, and he's ready to win this. So, and that goes with everything. You had the Eagles, who had to use an experienced quarterback to win their Super Bowl because their young quarterback couldn't get it done. So this is the same exact thing. Even last year with Burrows, he couldn't get it done. He had to go against experienced quarterbacks. This is things that's happened. This is what the NFL is. This big game. Everybody doesn't show up, and that's what I'm worried about with Jalen Hurts. He's proven that he sometimes he cannot show up in big games. So he had a good season.
Well, for me, I didn't go yet. Let me go. Y'all all made good points. I would agree that the Eagles have a great defense, a dominant defense. You guys are a complete team.
Yeah.
I give you guys the credit. I would love, and the win for Philly would be amazing as well.
Yeah.
Like it would be good for the city. I would love to see that happen.
Yeah.
But I think one thing we forget to mention is the coaching and the play calling, the offensive scheming of the Chiefs is just. What can I say? Andy Reid and the team, just that organization as a whole, like they're just they're them. Like I don't know. I just think the experience. That's where experience comes into play. That's where experience matters. Of course, the team experience is important, but experience with coaching, winning championships is important. And I would like to mention. When the Chiefs did play the Buccaneers in Super Bowl a few years ago, they did play a dominant defense. And I'll say that. So I think that Patrick Mahomes can use his experience from that game to help him properly game plan for this game, because it is a similar defense where you have a great defensive line, the DBs are good, the secondary is amazing. So and they were pressuring Mahomes they were pressuring him like crazy, and he was still making those crazy throws. Like he was still getting the ball off, and he messed up. Like they lost.
He was getting the ball off.
Big time.
No. Why was he getting the ball off though?
Learning experience.
It's a learning experience.
No. Wait. Hold on. No. But why was he getting the ball off? Because he was extending the play, right?
Yes.
He can't do that now because his ankle.
We don't know that.
I'm just saying that off
the stats.
It's a high ankle sprain, man. That's going to affect you.
And he played up in the crib getting drugged up.
Exactly.
I know Patrick Mahomes in the crib getting drugged up off the finest steroids. I think he's gonna be okay. I think he's gonna be okay. And Patrick Mahomes is his best when the whole world, the whole NFL is doubting him.
Yep.
He's
the real underdog. They're trying to paint Philly as because that's their theme, the underdog theme. Jalen Hurts, the underdog. Y'all not the underdog. Y'all not the underdog. But what y'all are?
Y'all are not. Everybody is rooting for you guys. I don't think you guys realize
Y'all not
All I see on my social media,
everybody is rooting for the Eagles.
That's the theme they want to paint this as.
That's the story.
That's the story. Like, y'all not no underdog.
He went from underdog. He got benched for Tua. Oh, now he's the starter.
It's the theme.
He just last year he had a bad season. Now he's just this big. Patrick Mahomes is the underdog this year. I'm sorry.
Patrick Mahomes is, and he gonna win his ring, and he's gonna go on to live the legacy. That's another thing that.
He's not.
Yes, he is,
bro.
You guys have a biased view.
People are expecting him to win.
This is Philly fans. This is the Philly fans. Philly fans.
I'm not saying that the Eagles are the underdog.
Y'all are not.
Sometimes fights are fair.
That's not. No.
Sometimes fights are fair.
Name the stats that you just said about all your team, right?
Yeah.
So what? And
We
the stats.
we didn't have those stats
What
today
are
for
the
the
stats?
You don't have to have
We
them.
didn't.
So what does that make them?
And that doesn't necessarily.
Y'all are
make
the
them-
favorites.
We are the favorites, okay, by the book, but even then, the Chiefs have never, with all of their experience and with all the times that they've gotten there, they have never really had these stats anyway. That's what I'm saying. They're not the underdog.
So what experience got them there, right? So
wouldn't
you
say
just proved our
experience,
point.
but more of a
They didn't have all the stats, so experience got them there, and they won it because they weren't even a phenomenal
I wouldn't
team.
even say experience. I would say
Patrick Mahomes and experience, Andy
Patrick
Reid.
Mahomes. I wouldn't even say experience. I would say more of just
Experience. Thank you.
So I'm not gonna say experience nonetheless because it's not that. It's just more of a team chemistry thing. Patrick Mahomes does a great job of keeping his teams together.
Yep.
You can
It's a
say
leader. He's a great leader.
He's a great leader. I will give him that. But Jalen Hurts is also a great leader, and that's been shown.
But he's got to prove in the NFL. You got to prove what you got to prove your
So he's
worth.
gonna prove it on Sunday?
He's led, and to say
Sure.
that he's led as simply as this. It has been shown when he got hurt in like week 10 or week 11, whatever it was. They went 2 games without him. We lost to the Cowboys against. That was a very good game.
Who else y'all lose to? Who else y'all lose to?
New Orleans.
The Saints.
No.
That's what he said.
Whatever.
Who else I lost to fully healthy though?
Okay.
Fully healthy.
You're watching from the couch.
We in this show. We gone. We done. He's violated. We done.
Is this.
We're done.
When Jalen Hurts was not there for 2 weeks, the flow of the team was off.
I would hope so. When any team doesn't have their starting quarterback,
not necessarily.
I would hope
Not
that
necessarily.
you. I would hope that you.
Not necessarily because
That's a
one, the
different
49ers
case.
went
That's a
back, but to attest to the Eagles'
That's a
success, our
different
first
case.
ring came off of a backup. Our first ring came off of a back.
Okay,
Yep.
fair.
Off of a hurt.
I mean,
off
Nick
of a
Foles-
hurt.
Off of experience.
I mean, Nick.
No, but even then, Nick Foles has never had experience.
Nick
to
Foles
that
never- yeah, Nick
capacity.
Foles-
But
Yeah.
he still was a good. He was a legit backup that had NFL experience.
But you put Nick Foles on a well-rounded team with the Eagles they had. Y'all was
Okay,
great,
and we put
both sides of football.
Minshew in a
True.
well-rounded
Yeah.
team, and
Okay.
he did not thrive.
Yeah.
So my
Yeah.
point is,
I mean,
this:
he was-
Jalen Hurts is a
I mean,
great
he-
leader, and this is a well-oiled machine. That
I mean,
needs
that
it.
game, you really think about you talking about this Cowboys game?
No, I'm talking about for that 2-week
For that,
spread.
yeah.
Anyway, they did not thrive offensively. They were not themselves.
So that's what I'm saying.
Sacks wise,
So-
play calling wise, they were not themselves. They were not as aggressive. They were not going on 4th downs. Everything was off.
So with that being said, Jalen Hurts in this big game, he starts not completing passes. He starts
have
to
a
get
run
down.
game. We have
He
a
starts
run
getting down.
Start the
But
run,
watch
start the
this.
run.
If Jalen Hurts is down in this big stage and they depend on him, you just said that he was the key. They take Jalen Hurts out, guess what's going to happen? Guess what's going to happen? The team might fall apart.
But that's my
Will the team fall apart? And you said he's 85%. And he said he's 85.
I'm not gonna
I said he's 85%.
Jalen Hurts has never been in a position where he's down because they fought back. We see it against the Colts.
This is Super Bowl, baby.
So what
This
happens
is
if
Super Bowl,
in the
man.
Super Bowl
This is
y'all
Super
do
Bowl.
have to
This
play
ain't
from
regular
behind?
season. This is
What-
not regular
Hey,
season.
listen. I'll put it to you like this: we've been so good, we've never been there. So when it happens, we'll talk about it. But until then,
And Eagle
We
fans,
saving this clip. We
Look,
saving this
look.
clip.
Eagles
yo.
fans
At the
should
end of
know
the
right
day,
away.
it's just football,
And we
bro.
can
They're going to
speak
go
with
out there
that
and do their
level of
thing.
dominance
They're
because
just going to go out there and do their thing. Jalen Hurts is
Hey.
not just going to miraculously
This how we
turn
gonna
just
do it.
trash. Like
Yes,
that's
they
not
do.
gonna
It
happen.
happens.
Hey,
Cam Newton, MVP.
But
Not to
that's
go all the way
different. His
back.
number one
Cam
receiver
Newton,
was Ted Ginn.
MVP.
His number one receiver was Ted Ginn.
It don't matter. MVP Cam Newton.
Cam Newton's number one
MVP
receiver.
Cam
that was an
Newton.
experience.
It was
Him and-
Ted Ginn,
and that was
Devin
LeBron Miller.
Funches, and who?
At that time, it was there. And they had a linebacker core. They had everything. Their defense
Von Miller is not on the Chiefs. Von Miller is not on the Chiefs.
I'm just saying, look at the
That the
experience.
Rams needed last year. To
We've seen this happen, and I'm just saying I'm going with Andy Reid. I trusted Andy. Y'all should
Y'all
know.
saying, I'm going-
Andy Reid is a genius. Yeah, they might not
Nick,
have the
and
offensive
Nick,
line.
and Nick Sirianni should know that of all people.
But my
Exactly.
thing is this: if we're talking about experience and everything like that, look who Nick Sirianni had to go up against all season, and he's out coached them.
Yeah.
this is
It's not-
that's regular
and-
season. This is a Super
Bro,
Bowl.
we're talking
big
about
stage,
but this
bro.
is my thing. And
Big
this is what I told
stage.
you earlier,
Receivers
whereas
start folding.
basketball- Whereas basketball, people make the
Them
statement
bright
where it's
lights.
about
Them
game.
bright
Bright
lights.
lights
The
get
bright
to
lights
you.
matter, yes, but in football, every game matters.
Every does.
Every-
But this the
this
Super
isn't
Bowl.
basketball. There isn't 82
But this the
game
Super Bowl.
No,
season.
this game matters
This
the
is-
most.
This game matters
All
the
the other
most.
games matter, but
I'm
this
I've
one
seen
is
top
the most
receivers.
important.
We've seen
Like,
top
every
receivers
game
fold,
like that.
and not just saying this, not to even keep bringing. I just say I like experience in history. We've seen OBJ fold under big lights. We done seen people fold under big lights before. A lot of receivers fold under big lights, and you got two of the top receivers that don't have no experience. They might fold.
We
And
talking
those
okay.
top-
We
they
talking about
may
experience.
fold.
You guys-
We talking about
your receiver
experience.
depth is
What
a
about the
little
Bengals?
suspect.
What about the Bengals though? We talking about experience. The Bengals,
I'm
not
they had
gonna
no
lie. I wish Joe
experience.
Shiesty was
They
in
had
the
no
ball right
experience.
now.
They made it to the
I
bowl
wish
last year, did they
Joe
not?
Shiesty
They
was
beat
And they
the
lost
Chiefs.
off experience.
They did, but they beat the
Whoa,
Chiefs.
Talent
They
can
beat
get
the
you
number
there.
one team, the Titans.
They lost off spirit.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. The reason why I lost to the Chiefs because of the refs. That's how we won that. Simple as that.
Whoa.
They
Simple
lost
as
to
that. Bro,
they
y'all
lost
watching
to
the game?
Aaron Donald. Or
Yeah.
Donald
I'm
Trump.
talking about Super Bowl. I'm not talking about Super Bowl. I'm talking about the Chiefs game last week. I'm not
We
talking
don't care
Super
about
Bowl.
that. They're watching from the couch too.
You lucky you ain't seen him.
That's
You lucky you ain't seen him.
Hey, listen, my team is in the bowl. We're not watching from the couch.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
I can't
We're
wait till
tailgating
y'all
outside the
lose on
stadium
Sunday. We're bringing you back next
my
week,
God.
Johnson. We're bringing you back.
If they win,
When
bring
they
you
lose.
back. You gotta bring
No,
them back.
y'all are gonna come back when they lose.
I do want to
It
say
doesn't
I do
matter.
like Jalen Hurts.
Bro.
I love Jalen Hurts. I love what he do. I love what he stand for.
Because if we win,
I like the Eagles. I have nothing against them
I'm coming back in
personally.
a hat and I'm coming back.
I
in
think the
sweatpants.
Eagles gonna blow them out, bro. I'm so serious, bro.
A blowout
I
is
think
crazy.
it's gonna be a double
I think
digit.
it's
I'm
gonna be a
so
Y'all
blowout.
so
I'm sorry, bro.
disrespectful to the
I'm
point.
so serious.
That is
like,
disrespectful.
I don't see it for the
Hey,
Chiefs. I'm sorry.
I don't.
I
This
don't.
how-
I think the Bengals had a better opportunity.
Man.
Their defense isn't even as physical enough. They've changed their DB core on so many different
Yeah.
occasions, and it's been depleting since that Super Bowl loss to the Bucks.
Yeah.
They lost a veteran safety with Matthew. I think he's back with the Saints.
Yeah, New Orleans, yeah.
That was another reason that Saints game was so competitive because they had a great defensive core. The Chiefs do not.
So
have
how did
that.
they get back here?
How'd they get
Because
back
of coaching and experience.
No, because
They're
of
still
coaching
here
and
even with the
offense.
whole new team.
Because of an offense that has a system to break you down.
So
Their
what do you think?
offense-
They're gonna keep your defense on the field and keep Jalen Hurts off.
And even last week, they shouldn't have won. They have a late penalty in the game that extends their drive.
All right.
All right.
We're getting into experience.
All right, so this
Super Bowl
this how we
Sunday.
going.
Talk about it.
This it's a lot of talking going on, right? But it all comes down to Sunday, man.
see y'all
next
Eagles, Chiefs.
I'll see y'all next week in
Hey,
the
man.
Eagles jersey, man.
Ooh.
Look, my Birds going to win.
If y'all wait, let's make a deal. If y'all lose,
I'll go
y'all
buy
gotta
I'll-
come
I'll
back
go
and you
buy
gotta
the
wear
Chiefs. I'll
Chiefs.
go- I'll wear
fair.
some
Y'all
wear
heard
to the
it
Chiefs.
on. Y'all heard it
You
here.
gotta wear red. You
I'm
gotta wear
coming
red.
back.
Red and yellow. You gotta wear red
I'm
and
coming.
yellow.
Listen, I already got the little dunks or whatever. I'll go buy a Chiefs
Okay.
t-shirt, whatever Super Bowl champion.
Okay.
And we can do that.
You'll be here next week.
And I'll be here next week with an Eagles shirt on.
Oh, anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate all of our guests for coming on.
Yeah,
We
man.
appreciate
Thank you
all
for
the love
having me.
and
Thank y'all for
support.
having
Yes,
me.
thank you guys. I'll be back.
We'll
Y'all
be
be
in
back.
touch.
Oh, yeah,
We'll
we'll be back
I'll
next
be
week. Go
And
Birds,
one
man.
thing,
Fly,
and
Eagles fly.
one thing I can say, man, I want to thank everybody for showing a lot of love and
Yes.
support. Our recent show just reached 1.2K views on YouTube, man. Continue going that up, man. More content coming soon. Road to 100 subs. You know what I'm saying? It's the hottest sports podcast in Delaware, DMV, PA. It don't matter what it is. We are here, man. The Buzz Sports Talk, man. We here to stay, man. This is the last football episode, man. To next
Whoa,
season.
this ain't the last football
Oh,
episode.
whoa,
We still got a lot of football to talk about.
After next week,
We still got a lot of football to talk
after-
about.
We're gonna talk more stuff about football, but then we're gonna dive into more basketball too. So definitely stay
NBA.
tuned, man. About to be the All-Star weekend. We got the playoffs coming in, playing. All you gotta do is make sure you subscribe, man. If you ain't subscribed,
Be active.
what you doing, man?
Thank you.
Yes, sir. And let us know who y'all got in the Super Bowl.
Yes,
In the comments.
comment.
It's a Philly
It's
game.
not a Philly game.